Welcome back, T.W.Dawson. I'm here, and I have a couple thoughts I want to share with the community. And the mindset behind this message is, what do we do now? We're on the brink of the listing. We're on the brink of the 2.0 version. We have been tested, we have been tried, we have obstacles. And I just want to make sure that everybody's moving forward has the right mentality of what actions they need to take and how to take advantage of what this opportunity is. So having said that, I want to start with a couple of phrases to kind of give me an outline of where I'm going. One, Punk Panda is not your savior. No, I didn't freeze. I want you to think about that. Punk Panda is not your savior. Punk Panda is an instrument. That's all it is. It is an instrument. So many people I'm starting to notice are banking and putting all their faith in this company as if it's going to save them from the situations that they're in. I don't think that's possible. I think that people are in the situation that they're in because of the way they think. I think that people are in the situations that they're in is because they're not willing to do the things to get them out. I believe that people that will take advantage of this opportunity have been building the skill sets over a lifetime. And now the instrument that will allow them to do the will that they want to make the changes in their life has been presented to them in the name of Punk Panda. No different than any other instrument. If I handed you a guitar, how many people out there would be able to play it day one? Not many. There's some savants out there that'll pick it up and play it like they played it forever. But most people, when you get handed an instrument, will have to take years and even years and years in order to master it or become proficient enough to play it. That's all this is, ladies and gentlemen. This is an instrument that if you haven't been practicing the necessary skill set, you will not be able to play in this game. If you haven't mastered certain things, you won't know how to participate in this game. We're trying to create beautiful music. We're trying to create a harmony the world can actually see. And there are some people in Punk Panda right now that are just waiting for this to happen so they can be saved from a lifetime of failure, a lifetime of disappointment, a lifetime of laziness, a lifetime of not doing what they're required to do in order to be responsible with their finances. They're waiting for something to come in and just swoop them out of their situation and save them. That's not what this is, ladies and gentlemen. This is an instrument that, when placed in the hands of a master, can make beautiful music. I want you to really think about what I just said. Punk Panda is an instrument that, when placed in the hands of a master, can create a masterpiece. That's all it is. This is not something that you sign up, we give you free tokens, and then you're rich. Because guess what? If we did do that, and if everybody had if everybody had the equal amount of tokens and those tokens were worth a whole bunch of money, those same people who didn't do the work prior will find a way to give that money back to the people who did. Yeah. There's a certain amount of people in this world. 80 to 90% of the people in this world don't have the skill sets and don't have financial understanding or financial intelligence. That if you gave them the money, the people that do, the 10% that do, will find a way to get it from them. And they'll be right back in their same situation. So if you care about your people and you have some type of financial literacy, if you care about your people, if you have a financial IQ, you want to start teaching them what to do, because this is going to blow up. And when it blows up, it's going to blow up fast. And you wonder why most people that are in the underdeveloped countries or in the most undesirable positions spend more money on lottery tickets than the people that have. Because they're trying to strike it rich. They're trying to skip the steps of success. They wanted it to be handed to them. They want to do it by luck, but guess what? You don't get rich by luck. You get rich by guts. It takes guts to succeed, not luck. And the guts is doing what it takes, no matter what that is. Legally, of course, but doing what it takes. Disciplining yourself to do the things that you don't want to do so that you can do the things that you want to do. Now, this skill set, I'm going to put it on me. I've worked my whole life for Punk Panda. Before Punk Panda was even an idea. Before anybody ever drew a panda on a screen or on a piece of paper. Before Albert even had the tokenomics put together, I've been preparing myself for this moment right here, right now, my whole life. I've been acquiring the skill sets. I've been handling the no's, preparing the mentality, building the community, building the networks, learning the skill sets that's required to be in the position that I am today. I've been doing that for almost 30 years, just to be in the position that I'm in. Now, guess what? What makes you think that after squandering your time, not educating yourself, not going through the nose, not doing anything with any type of resistance, that you can just come into an industry and succeed? What makes you think that the universe is so gifting that they're just going to say, you know what, I'm going to pick this guy? Out of all the people that want, out of all the people that desire, out of all the people that are ambassadors, what makes you think the universe is going to pick you when you haven't done anything to deserve that type of blessing? How do you have that in your mind? And yes, Punk Panda is an amazing opportunity. It's an amazing idea, and it will bring prosperity to millions of people. But what makes you think you're going to be one of them? What makes you think that? Well, let's see. You're not going to get rich. You're not going to create wealth without paying a price. I talk about paying a price all the time. You're just not. See, if you go into a store and you want to buy a watch, automatically you got two choices. You can pull out a credit card or cash or some type of means of payment and pay for it and leave out of the store with the watch. Or you can take the watch and you can steal it and run. You got two choices. Most people will probably choose one, and I don't suggest anybody choose the latter. But so you automatically know, in order to receive something, there is something that you have to give in exchange to get that. So what makes you think that that's not the same thing when it comes to wealth? What makes you think it's not the same thing when it comes to success? There is some things that you have to give up in order to receive those things. You have to give up your time. You have to give up energy. You have to invest emotionally. You have to work on yourself, your inner self. You have to be able to speak to people. You have to be able to deal with other people's attitudes. You have to be able to see issues and fix problems and be able to think in a certain way. You have to be able to manage things, people. These are the things that you have to do. And so what people do is they're envious of other people. Why? What do you mean? Well, guess what? In the United States, in order to be in the top 1% income, you have to make $500,000. And usually those are doctors, lawyers, or so high professionals. They make $500,000, and most people that don't make anything near that looks at that, it's like, oh man, I can't wait to make that type of money. I want to make that type of money. They're able to buy any car they want. They're able to go where they want to go. They're able to do a whole bunch of things that most people are not able to do until they buy that house in the Hamptons and move next to somebody that's making $10 million a year. And then that $500,000 is not enough. And they look at the person that's making $10 million and they say, you know what? I want to make $10 million. And they're willing to do anything and everything and sacrifice so many different things to get there, sometimes not good. They'll sacrifice their marriages. They'll sacrifice so many different things because their mentality is never enough. But then you got the guy that makes $10 million a year. He's a CEO of a large company. He's doing real good. And the problem is he grew up with Michael Jordan. And when he looks at Michael Jordan, $2 billion, he said, whoa, $10 million a year is not enough. I want to be at Michael Jordan's level. And then Michael Jordan, that seems like good. He's a billionaire. He's one of the top He's actually 1% of the 1% of the 1%. But then Michael Jordan goes to a party and he runs into Elon Musk. And he's like, the 2 billion is nothing to 200 billion. So no matter where we are, we always want more. It's never enough. So we have to be content with where we are right now and do not judge ourselves based on other people and work with what we have to get what we need. You have to use all you have right now. Listen what I'm saying. You have to use what you have right now. All right? So there's a difference in perspective. The perspectives are different now because now, in order for me to get what I want out of life, I can't base it on what TW has. I can't base it on what Albert has. I can't base it on what Frank has, or Jay, or Peter, or Prince. I can't base it on what those guys have. I have to start somewhere right here because you don't know what those guys did to get where they are. So their success is different than your success, all right? So you have to be careful when it comes to getting advice from people, right? Because let me just tell you this right here. Pessimism is something that people gravitate to. Optimism, people sound naive. When somebody's speaking pessimistically, they sound intelligent because they're warning you about things that might happen. They're warning you about these things. But guess what? Pessimism is what people want to hear because people like drama. They don't want to hear people that are optimistic to say that this is going to be good. They want to focus on all the bad things that happen so they look like they're intelligent. Oh, well, the website went down, so you know what that means. Oh, well, the app is still not up. Oh, that's weird. Why should it? Oh, you should have did better. They sound intelligent. They sound like they know what they're talking about. Guess what? Progress takes a longer time than a setback does. It may take years to gain progress. It only takes a second for a setback. So people are in the now. People are focused on the now. We've experienced some setbacks in Punk Panda, but people didn't pay attention to where we came from during that time. They're only focusing on the right now. And guess what? Albert said it yesterday. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 months is a bleep when it comes to 15 years. And those people that fell off the train because of the bleeps won't benefit. And guess what? It goes a lot with their mentality because they don't understand investing. See, doing the same thing and thinking they're going to get a result is the definition of insanity. So guess what? What you're doing, what's the same thing? You're trading your time for dollars. What you are is a mercenary, meaning that somebody can hire you. And you give up your best asset, which is your time, for a couple of dollars. What are you talking about? No, I'm talking about what people are doing as far as their mentality. As far as their mentality speaking, what you're saying is this right here. Okay, well, I'm going to work this Punk Panda thing because there's a promise of prosperity. So in other words, if I work it, I'm expecting to get something back of it. So people that have been working Punk Panda and don't see it long term are the first ones that are complaining because they're concerned about what they're getting paid for at the end of the week or the end of the month or when it's listed or when the app is available. That's what they're worried about. They're not worried about 15 years out. They're worried about right now, what's going to happen. I've been doing this. I built my community. I did this. I did it. I got 45 tokens. And April 15th, I can cash them out. That's a paycheck. They're focused on a paycheck. They're trading their time for dollars. You are a mercenary. You're for hire. Versus the person that doesn't trade time for dollars. Well, listen. So some are not in a position to be able to do that. But let me just give you a tip. You can trade your time for dollars and then trade your dollars for time. Yeah. So what do you mean, TW? Okay, so this is what you do. You get in Punk Panda. You give some time by speaking to people, building a community. And then once you build a community, you'll start to create income. You'll start to create value. You'll start to create tokens. You'll get rewarded. Now, you take those same rewards, and instead of giving more time, you take those rewards and reinvest them. Instead of cashing out and getting your paycheck, you reinvest them. Now, you traded your time for dollars, and now you supplement your time and put your dollars in the place of your time, and your dollars will create more time. Y'all, listen, it's a whole mentality that you have to have. Because guess what? If you don't, you will not succeed. You see the shirt I got on? I wore this on purpose. I want you to see this shirt on purpose. Because this is what it takes. Let me lower this now so you can see. I want you to see this. Because this is what it takes. All right? So listen. There's people that have no time, no money. You know who those people are? Those are usually people who work a regular job. And I have nothing to say bad about anybody who's working a regular job. It's not about that. It's about the habits. It's about understanding. The first thing to solve the problem is to acknowledge that there is a problem and how you're moving, how you're thinking, what your idea of money is. Then the second thing is people that have no time, a lot of money. Those people are self-employed, they own businesses, stuff like that. Okay, they have a bunch of money because they're generating an income, but they don't have time. Then you have people who got time and got no money. Who are those people? College students. They got a bunch of time. They could do whatever they want to do. People who haven't done much. I don't know, farmers, people that are sitting around waiting for the next season to come. And then you have people who got time and have money. That is where we want to be. We want to have time and money because guess what? True freedom does not occur unless you're financially free because the person who controls your money controls you. The person who controls your money controls where you live. The person controls your money, controls what time you take your lunch break, controls where your kids go to school, controls what kind of car you drive, controls whether you're going to this vacation or that vacation, because you can only afford, he even controls when you go on vacation. He controls the time you eat your lunch. I don't get hungry until after 2. I'm not eating at 1 or 12. This is the mentality that you have to have. And guess what? It's not going to happen overnight. It's just not going to happen overnight. And so we have to start somewhere because when it happens, all we're going to do is squander the opportunity. We're going to squander the opportunity. There's 2 ways to build wealth. There's people that bring value after they have been promised money or wealth. And there's people who bring the value regardless of what the promise is. And once that value is brought, people, the world, the universe will come back and show the value. I say it all the time. The only reason a man is in poverty is because that man has not made himself useful to the world. Once a man makes himself useful, then the world will compensate him accordingly. Not Punk Panda, not your boss, not the corporation, not the government, not some handout, but the world will compensate you accordingly based on your usefulness. And the only way to be useful is to create skill sets. Think about it like this, anybody can create wealth. Listen, if you saw a car sitting on the side of the street, right? Beat up, broken up, abandoned, no tires, no interior. Hey, how much is this car? Let me buy it for a couple $100. And you had the skills to paint it, to fix it, to put new tires on it. You can actually sell that car for way more than what you paid for it. You know why? Because the sum of the whole is worth more than the parts. No different than a chef. You can take baking soda, you can take sugar, you can take flour, you can take yeast, and you can put those parts together. And individually, they won't cost a lot, but you put them together and bake a cake, you can sell the cake for 10 times more than what you bought the individual ingredients for. That's wealth. That is how you create wealth. That's a mentality versus I'm going to show up, bust my tail, work as hard as I possibly can, and then my employer is going to give me just enough for me to come back tomorrow. It's not how it goes. Or you can be creative, come up with an idea. Software developers, inventors. You can come up with projects and people will pay you for those ideas. Those are ways to create wealth too. Then you can actually leverage people, have skill sets, teach people how to do something, learn how to do something, create a position, and then teach other people how to do it, and then have them do it for you. That's what business is. That's in essence what a business is. And that's what we should be doing. We want to find ways to create income outside of just waiting for something to happen. That mentality is going to keep the money in your pocket. Keeping the money in your pocket. That's the biggest difference between the people who have and people that don't have. See, it's not about how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. And people who don't have money have bad habits. Like I said, people that don't have money spend more money on lotto tickets. And I'm not judging them because they see people that live a better lifestyle. And again, the envy, they want it. So they're trying to hit a home run versus base hits. You ever see somebody who never played baseball get up to bat and try to hit a home run? It's terrible. But the person who learns how to hit singles, eventually sometimes they do hit home runs. And eventually their consistency of preparing themselves to just make contact with the ball will result in home runs at some point. Versus someone who just wants a home run with no skills behind that swing. All right, so what is investing? The number one rule in investing is investing in yourself. That is the number one rule in investing. You can invest in real estate, you can invest in your health, you can invest in other people, you can invest in music, you can invest in this, you can invest in that, but the number one investment is investing in yourself. Why? You and only you are responsible for educating yourself. You. No one else is responsible for that. What do you think? Do you think your boss is going to train you to take his job? Do you think your boss is going to give you the information to do the job better than him and you start up as his competition? Where does this happen? No one's going to train you to be a millionaire. No one's going to train you to be successful. Your boss relationship and your relationship is, again, he pays you just enough for you to show up the next day and you do just enough work for him not to fire you. It's like a cat and mouse thing. I'm going to do just enough not to get fired, and your boss is looking at you saying, I'm going to pay him just enough so he'll come back. How are you going to be successful in that scenario? You're not. Some people think just working hard and having a good attitude is going to be successful. Some people believe, oh, I got a good attitude and I work hard. No, those help. But without the education, without the skills. See, it's all about skills. And in order to do that, you have to prepare yourself. You have to study. You have to read. I'm going to talk about some things. And I'm flowing. I got a couple more minutes. But watch this right here. The number one thing is financial IQ. Investing it's about financial IQ. And the word of the day is delayed gratification. That is the difference between the people who have and the people that don't. You put money in the hand of a child. What are they going to do? Put it in the chat. What are they going to do? You put money in the hand of a child. What are they going to do? They're going to go to the store and they're going to spend it. We have not matured financially. That's why we're doing the same thing as children do. You give a child $1, they're going right to the store. You get your paycheck, you go right to spend it. You spend it on lottery tickets, you spend it on so many different things. I'm gonna get into it. That's what we do. All right? Okay. So delayed gratification is stepping out of your comfort zone, putting certain things off, preparing for a long term. See, again, we list on the 15th of this month sometimes, the first thing you want to do is go spend it. That's childish. It's immature. That's not bright. Why would you sell the goose that lays the golden eggs? What makes sense? To buy a carton of milk every week or buy the cow? Now, the carton of milk is less expensive, but over a period of 15 years, it's going to be way more expensive than spending that one time buying a cow. But guess what? The carton of milk, you get it every week. The cow, it might take you 6 weeks to get the money to buy the cow. But once you have the cow, now you can have milk anytime you want. That's delayed gratification. Hold out, ladies and gentlemen. Hold out, panda pals. Hold out. Create the cow. And then you can eat from the cow. You can drink from the cow. And eventually that cow might create 2 more cows. And now you got 3 cows. Now, instead of having 1 gallon of milk a week, you got 3 gallons of milk a week. But you waited to get those cows before you started indulging in the value of those cows. Don't slaughter the cow and eat for a day. That's the mentality that people are having. You can't do that. Again, if you want your people to succeed, they gotta know this. They have to understand it, not just know it. All right, getting out of your comfort zone. Okay, so I got a couple things that I got written down here, and I'm gonna run through them. First things first, we all acknowledge that some of us are in financial destitute. Some people are just, they just don't get it. As a matter of fact, we don't even have to say that. We know that 80 to 90% of people on the planet are not where they want to be financially. We know that. So the first thing you have to do, individually, you have to acknowledge that. That's the first step. The first step is to acknowledge where you are, right? How to get out of a financial mess. I got two options, or not 2 options, but 2 things. One is defensive and the other is offensive. First thing, defensive. You have to cut down on what you're already spending. Nobody wants to hear this. You have to cut down on what you're spending. Oh, what are you talking about? You need cash flow. You can't be successful in any kind of business without some type of cash flow. I'm not talking about salary or income. That is one thing, but having cash flow, that's something sitting where you can invest, where you can actually buy the cow. See, think about it like this. If you spend money on lottery tickets, right? And then when the cow presents itself to buy, you don't have the money to buy the cow, you're gonna buy the milk. And you're gonna keep buying the milk. But instead of spending on certain things, if you had a little bit reserved, you might only take 2 weeks to buy the cow versus 6 weeks, which is way easier because you have cash on hand. So how do we get more cash on hand? Excuse me. Stop smoking. It's a bad habit. Some people can't stop smoking as many a day. Cut down, right? Alcohol. Stop drinking. Listen, smoking and drinking is things that the big corporations have placed in the communities of people who are underprivileged to make money off of them. And you're taking advantage of it. You're falling into it. There's nothing good. Now, I'm not judging anybody. But if you want what I'm talking about, you have to find a way to sacrifice something. Alcohol is the easiest way to drink, to give your money away. It's the easiest way to do it. Also, you want to stop going out at night. Stay in the house. Stop driving around all these gas prices. Stop trying to be somewhere. Stop trying to show people that you're something that you're not. Stop trying to be everywhere and do everything. Stop gambling. If you want to gamble, gamble on a business. You want to gamble? Gamble on a business. Period. All right? Vacation. Stop trying to go every year on a vacation. Some people don't have that luxury, but the people that do, they want to show, we went to such a. Stop spending that money and put the money aside to make something happen in your life. Food. People spending money on, you know how many people spend $5, $6 a day on coffee every morning? Coffee, donuts, little stuff like that. It adds up. Again, if you're not in a position that you have cash flow, these are some of the things you got to look at. And not only that, eat better food. Stop eating junk food. If you start eating good food, you can think better. You come up with more ideas. You feel healthier. And at the end of the day, once you get the money, if you ever discipline yourself to do this, the first thing you're going to be looking for is your health because you want to stay around long enough to enjoy it. So eat the right food. Laziness is the biggest problem why people don't succeed. Stop being lazy. Stop it. Cut it out. Get up. Do something. Do some push-ups. Don't go to bed being average. Figure out a way to do something above average before you put your head on the pillow at night. All right? Stop buying liabilities. Don't buy the car just because you want the car. Don't buy it. Stop buying liabilities. Buy things that bring assets, but that are assets, bring money in. Stop buying things that take money away. And by the way, your house is not an asset unless it's paid off, period. I don't want to hear it, all right? So that's the defensive way. Offensive way. Offensive way is to create skills. You want to join an organization. You want to get a part of some type of events and stuff like that, where there are like-minded people that can give you mentality and you can learn skill sets. What are you talking about? Sign up for insurance. Try to sell insurance or something like. Why? It's going to teach you skill sets to sell. It's going to teach you about financial instruments. You can also do direct sales. Obviously, you understand that. Most people understand the teaching and the things that they learn from the uplines, value, sales. They learn how to get resistant skin so they can take no for an answer. So it's just e-commerce. You learn how to sell online. You do these things. Time management programs. These are the things where you learn certain skills in order to be successful. This is all important. Financial planning. Sign up for a financial planning course. And all these things. Real estate investment. Sign up for real estate investment. Do something, because you have to find something that's going to put you around people that want more. Because guess what? If you hang around your beer drinking buddies and you tell them you're going to be rich, they're going to laugh at you. You know why they're going to laugh at you? Because they don't want you to be rich. They don't want you to show them what they can do that they're not doing. They're going to discourage you, your family members. How many people talked about Punk Panda to somebody? Oh, yeah, whatever. They discourage you because people want you to be where they are. But guess what? I want you to be where I am. Who's going to win? That's up to you. All right? So those are the things that you have to look at. Defensively, get rid of all the BS in your life. Offensively, put yourself in a program that's going to learn something, that you're going to learn something. And it's not, and Punk Panda is that instrument. You can learn a lot, but you have to start to study. You have to start to develop those skill sets. I'm almost done. I want to just make sure I got everything. Strategy. This is more concerned on Punk Panda. Think about this right here. When we list, 1 month after we list, hundreds, thousands of people are going to be running to sell their tokens. Think about this. I don't think this was ever said before. I thought about this on the way over here to this call. So let's just imagine the first day that everyone's able to sell. You're going to have hundreds, maybe thousands of people that are selling that day. So what does that mean? In the next 2 days, everybody who didn't sell, rewards are going to go up. What a strategy, huh? So in other words, in the beginning, everybody's going to be selling. So those who don't sell are going to take part in those 2 days that they can't receive rewards. That's a strategy right there. Also, Frank says it best all the time. You can make money in the farm right now. We're giving out rewards. We're giving out percentages, commissions for those who bring people into the farm. Why haven't you been doing that? Listen, if you don't believe, okay, this is the problem I have. The problem I have is the person who is so hard on corporation or on corporate about the little things that we've done. Oh, you said this, you promised this, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. But you don't even have enough belief to spend $50 and invite your friends to do the same thing so that you can have a commission. But you believe in it so much about those 20 tokens that you have that you're willing to lash out on corporate because we missed the deadline. I don't know if that's coming across the right way or not, but that bothers me because it's the mentality. If you have some skin in the game and you're concerned about things, I understand that. But what did you do to earn this? You sat around and you let other people put this together, and you've only invested maybe a little bit of time, and you expect the world to come and stop because your tokens are not showing up in your app. Come on, that's unreasonable. Ladies, John, and that's the difference between the people that's successful and the people that's not. period. The buck stops here, ladies and gentlemen. You listen. So what I'm saying to you, some people might say, well, I'm a little older. It's going to take me a while to build these skills. No, you got to start somewhere. Start now. And I'm going to tell you the definition of a good man. A good man is the man that will plant the tree knowing he'll never enjoy the shade. A good man will plant a tree now, will build the skill sets now, will set up financial freedom for his family now, even though he won't be around to really enjoy it, but his children's children will enjoy it. That's the opportunity we have right now. Yes, I spent the better part of 30 years preparing for this day. Some people have been preparing for the last week, last month, the last 5 years. It doesn't matter when you started. Continue down the road. And if nothing else, your children's children will know who you are because you set something off and you said this poverty, it stops right here with me. That's the most important thing. I'm done. I'm going to ask one question. Is my financial freedom worth the price that I'm paying today? Is your freedom and the freedom of your kids worth the price that you're paying today? Are you paying a big enough price in order to get what you want? Or are you settled with what you're paying right now? Because if you feel that it's big enough, then guess what? If you can live the same way, you can live another day doing the same thing. If you can live with having the same job, making the same money, if you can live with the same paycheck and the same rut, if you answer this question no, then just keep doing what you're doing. But if you answer it yes, if you can live that way, do what you do. If you say no, then it starts today, not tomorrow. It starts today. Ladies, gentlemen, I thank you very much. I'm gonna have Frank, Phil come in and just close out. I'm spent, I'm done. Thank you for your time, guys. I love you guys. Frank, you can come in.
You bet. Wow. TW, it was just absolutely amazing. It's just, those words are so true. And it starts with yourself. I always tell people to look in the mirror, and that's what people got to do. And that's the message I got today. And, I really appreciate you, TW, because you speak from the heart. And, I noticed that t-shirt right away, Success, and says, this is going to be a great day. And I couldn't wait. I was going to tell you to bring it up. And that's amazing, guys. If you guys don't appreciate what TW did for you today, I mean, what he was trying to do is open your eyes, folks, and pave the way. It starts with you guys. That's what TW is trying to say. These guys have been totally transparent. And I'll tell you right now, we all could do more, including myself. We all can. And you really set the tone here. And I hope you guys take this message to everybody on your team and definitely share this video, because you know what? That's where you will start to have success. And you know what, TW? You made a really good point. People don't want us to succeed. They want us to stay in the same rut. And I believe in that as well. I've always been, guess what? The black sheep, because I never follow the system. Because if you follow the system, people, then you're in the system and you become the system, and you will not get out of that box. And I appreciate you actually breaking that down for us. And I think you have opened a lot of people's eyes. And I know they appreciate it from all the comments, TW. Again, well done. And I want to tell you guys, folks, I've never felt so good about a project because of the leadership like TW, Albert, and Marcus that speak from the heart. And, yeah, they missed some timelines, but we as the people, we are the ones that are going to set the narrative, and we have something that is going to change a lot of people's lives, including yours, if you have the right mindset. And that was today's message, TW, and you nailed it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you very, very much. And let's go forward. And there were some folks that asked questions about where's the iOS and all that good stuff. I want everybody to know, Albert stated by midnight on the 13th, they'll be in the Play Store and the iOS. All right, so just be patient. It could be earlier, and we're right around the corner. Believe me, as soon as we see it in the Play Store or in the Apple Store, it's going to be all over the place. Don't keep asking. It's there. I get tired of people in Telegram asking the same question over and over again. Thank God I'm not answering those questions. I don't have the patience, because those are the type of people that are not looking in the mirror and are not doing something to improve what we have, probably one of the best and the company of the year. I really believe we're going to be the company of the year, and it's going to blow people away. And we're setting the narrative, the tone of ways to come to help the people and the community. And that's what I love so much about this. Thank you so much, TW. Back to you.
You're muted.
Yes, thank you. Phil, just the man I was looking for. Go ahead, Phil, close us out, Phil.
Hey, TW, Frank. Oh, I mean, I'm just sitting here really, I'm at awe of what you've said. It just can't come out any better. I mean, you know, we pay a lot of good money to hear people, to hear what you've just said, what you go through. I mean, I paid a lot of money to just listen to what you've said. And if people can take 20% of what you said home today, they are home free. And let me say something, you know, we always talk about the people who need it and the people who don't. Well, let me tell you something. There are a lot of people on tonight's call that are already millionaires, TW, Frank, you know, and sometimes you turn around and ask them, do they need this? The answer is no, right? They've made their money, they've done well. Why are they breaking their backs? Why are they not sleeping? Why are they doing hours and hours a day of these things? And I know I don't want to name names, but Frank, you know what I'm talking about. You know, and the thing is, it's about building, helping community, right? I always know that if you have a good, strong, wealthy community, you become wealthy. Nobody got ever poor by giving, right? So it's not about yourself. You have to build a community so that you can enrich yourself all the time, right? This world doesn't happen with you, okay? With the people amongst us, right? The people, the family around me, and actually the people who are closest to you are actually in the biggest need of what you need to do for them, right? So please, right? You need to help other people to help yourself. And I think this is the most important thing that you can take home tonight, is that this is really unique. Why I say that is, Punk Panda came into the show, right? Some of us ran with it. Some of us built a nice cash flow, and then it went on a lull for about a month, and everything just went topsy-turvy, and now it's coming back again. And the beauty part of it is nobody paid a cent. But if you look at the Telegram group and what people come up with, and you think, my goodness, it hasn't cost you a penny, and you are just saying all these funny things. And all we need to do is get back, reconstruct, get ready, and bang, we go again. And this time it's going to be full force, full ahead. And I tell you, it's not the money that you're going to make tomorrow. It's a legacy that you're going to create for the future. That is what a lot of us are building for. I mean, I brought in my kids, I brought in my nieces and nephews. I bought 50 coins for them, 100 coins for them in the farm. And I talked to them about, it's not for now. 15 years down the road, when that coin is worth 10,000 bucks, you have 50 coins of Punk Panda. And can you imagine what that will do for you and your family and your grandchildren? So it's not about us anymore. It's building a legacy forward so that our future generation will have a much better platform to start their lives with. Knowing what's going around us now with the war and with pandemic, with this and the other, we have to put our heads together, right? The difficult part is already done for us. That is building the platform of Punk Panda. All we need to do is just put that 20–30% together, right? So that we can go leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of other people who are still umming and ahhing today, and see whether yes, whether no. You know, I always ask Frank the question, Frank, do you need this? No, you know what I mean? But he's working his butt off. Why? Because he's helping the neighbor next door. He's helping people across the country. He drives 15 hours. He does all kinds of things because he wants to help the community around him. And by doing so, the satisfaction that he has and the wealth that he has created for himself, money can't buy. This is what it's all about, right? And one day I will come to the States, TW will come to Asia, and we will all be together, and we all sit back over a beer and say, wow, what have we done? And that is worth more than any money in the world can buy. This is what we are all looking for. And I hope everybody, right, takes this back, because it costs you nothing. If you keep doing the same thing every day, like what you say, TW, it's a form of insanity, right? Get off your butt, change your mindset, pick up the phone and open that golden mouth of yours, and we will all be home free. Thanks, TW. Thanks, Frank. Cheers.
TW, can I just rebuttal to that? Because I got goosebumps. You know, Phil, it's people like you, because you don't need this as well. And, you know, you've been my friend, and we've been through this for the last 4 months. You don't miss a call. You speak so well, and you speak from the heart, and you care about people. That's what I love about you, my friend, is you really put, you know, the shirt on its sleeves, however you say it, because I got goosebumps. I'm lost for words right now. But Phil, you said it so well, and you too don't need it. And yet it's 3 a.m, 2 a.m, you're on these calls. I cannot believe it. And you say, you know, you use your past, and you've educated yourself just like TW. It didn't just happen. It's 30, 40 years of you having the right attitude and mindset. And that's the message we want to get across. And you summed it all up so well, Phil. Thank you so much for being a friend, a business owner with me, and working through this. And we're just trying to share our knowledge. And same thing as you, TW. We all three don't need to be here. We're trying to help you folks that are listening to this call today, whether it's recorded and you're listening to it or live, it's because we care and we have something very, very special. Let's change people's lives. Let's have a better community and a better world. Thank you so much.
Yep. The thing is, I just want to reiterate why I come to these calls. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning here in Malaysia. It's basically, I need to support Frank. I need to support TW. This is where it all starts and where it's all begin. I can easily go to sleep, man. I've created a good cash. You know how many downlines I have, almost 39,000. I've built a cash vault of what, almost 20,000 coins. But I have to be here to support my friends, right? And if Frank can sit up and do the calls every day, and TW can have his time to come on every day, my pitch is, I'm just here to support everybody. And with that mindset, we will all succeed. Thank you. Cheers.
Gentlemen, it's always my pleasure to be in the space of great men. Phil, I knew you were going to come in and just say what you normally say. Like I said, Frank, I get goosebumps every time I hear him speak as well. Such a passion, and you know he's speaking from a position of knowledge. He's speaking from a position of experience, as well as you yourself, Frank. And like you said, we say we don't really need this. But what we do need is for the people around us to see the success that we've had. So the question is, and I'll leave you guys with this. After your loved ones, after you die, and your loved ones that are around you die, and their family, your grandchildren die, who will know that you lived? Because at some point, after the last person that knows you today dies, you'll be gone in history. Unless you decide to do something that will affect generations. I said it as a young man. I want my great-great-great-grandchildren that have my picture on their mantle in their mansion, knowing that it was because of me that created the opportunity for them to be where they are. The buck stops here. No longer will anybody in my family after me have to struggle the way I struggled. No longer. And guess what? It's up to you to make that decision. Create the skills. Get around good people. Frank and Phil and all your uplines and anybody that has the idea that they want to be successful. Get around them, serve them, learn from them. Don't be afraid to go work at McDonald's just to get the skills to run a company. Don't be afraid to do the things that you don't want to do just so you can have the things that you want. Because most people won't do it. Most people will just sit and wait for something to happen. I'll end it like this. Punk Panda is not your savior. Punk Panda is an instrument that once wielded by a master will create beautiful music. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you guys. I love everybody in community. The only reason I was able to go so hard is because I really love you and I want you guys to get the message. I hope it is received the way I gave it with all my heart and with all love. Thank you, everybody. I love you guys. We'll see you guys next week.